I despair as yet another day passes me by without the humorous shenanigans of my hero, Mr. M&M's. No KGB agents assail me, nor do any pigeons guide my way. Instead, I drift through life, days as meaningless as when I was leading a country so uninteresting I forget the name of it. Tomorrow, I always tell myself, I will visit the 313. This is a story of when that tomorrow finally came. Detroit, as it turns out, is full of vehicles which are propelled by people's feet rather than an engine. This is very humorous but has the additional benefit of allowing me to very easily get a job as a bus driver in one of the few vehicles which actually have an engine. Mr. M&M's would soon ride the bus. It was a matter of time. Weeks turned into months. But at last it happened. Mr. M&M's got on board the bus alongside a literal clone and a man dressed in full scuba gear. Naturally, both asked me what I, a former president, was doing driving a bus, so I proudly tell them I'm here to meet the most interesting man in the world. Then Mr. M&M's is in front of me. I suppose you were wondering what I'm doing, I asked Mr. M&M's, pride practically floating me out of my seat. I can explain how ready I am for a humorous rambling observation ending in any way or Mr. M&M to otherwise subvert my expectations. As long as I can be part of his adventures, I'll be happy. Instead, he just mumbles something about not having eyes or eyes, then walks off to find a seat. I'm able to hold it together and continue. I can guess where Mr. M&M's is heading. The store. It might not be whimsical, but I can get him there safe and well. That's when I notice the note. It says there's a bomb attached to the underside of the bus, and that if we go over 37 people on the bus, then we won't be able to go under 37 people on the bus without it going off. 35 passengers, 36 people including me. Dangerously close. Fear grips me. Unmitigated terror for everyone on board. Mr. M&M's will be safe. His ability to survive dire situations with little more than a comedic cruise will see to that, but everyone around him will not. The only rational way out of this to ensure nothing bad happens to everyone else is to kick Mr. M&M's off in a humorous way such that the coming of the bomb will no longer be relevant. The note seemed to appear from nowhere. Such things do not otherwise happen outside of this one man, and without the focus on Mr. M&M's, everyone will be safe. I have to be careful. I can't have him arguing with me, as that could have unintended comedic consequences which could be dire. Therefore, I throw him off using absurd cartoon logic, claiming the bus won't go because we've exceeded the maximum capacity by one, and I don't like him because he wasn't interested in what I was doing. Fortunately, he seems to accept this, and when I look again, the note is gone. I've saved everyone. Despite my success in avoiding being part of Mr. M&M's more deadly adventures, I still want the whimsy. I reach the bus station, my final destination, and sprint for the grocery stores, knowing that's where Mr. M&M's is heading. Thinking quickly, I convince everyone at the store that I'm doing an episode of Undercover Boss, but for the entire country, which earns me a place in the checkout lines. I quickly install the pop-up bell and arch I prepared earlier, activated at the press of a button, and ensure the moment Mr. M&M's uses his card to pay, he will in fact receive millions of dollars into his bank account as a thanks for the joys he has given me in involving me in one of his adventures. He approaches my checkout, and again I ask him if he wants to know what I'm doing, hoping to get involved in a whimsical adventure so classic of Mr. M&M's. He looks me dead in my eyes and tells me he's trying to have a normal day, and that, while I can tell him what I'm doing, he doesn't want to hear anything that will lead to a wacky adventure. I suck air through my teeth. Months planning to see Mr. M&M's in person gone. Months dreaming of being part of Mr. M&M's wacky adventures gone. Pursing my lips, I look Mr. M&M's dead in the windows to his soul as I keep bagging groceries. Without breaking eye contact, I ask him to pay. If nothing else, I can at least surprise Mr. M&M's by thanking him for all the fun he's brought me with the balloons and money. As Mr. M&M's card moves closer to the reader, my hand moves closer to the button. Can't help it, I'm too excited. That's when he pulls out cash instead, and it's all too much for me. Every one of my attempts for light-hearted comedy has failed. I rest my head in my hands and start openly weeping, explaining I just want to be in one of Mr. M&M's adventures, but he seems to be doing everything he can to exclude me. That's when the clone and the scuba diver burst into the store. Each pull bell and guns from their waistbands and demand everyone in the store get down while I hand over everything in the cash drawer. I'm thrilled to go along with it. The whimsy, the comedy, the hilarity. Thanks, Mr. M&M's.